You think you could survive medieval life because people did it every day. That belief is the illusion. Here is the shock. Most modern humans would not last 24 hours. Not because of war or monsters, but because of the ordinary morning. You wake before dawn in freezing darkness, already exhausted, already hungry, already behind. Your body expects warmth, clean water, and food on demand. Medieval life offered none of that. The cold bites immediately because houses trap darkness better than heat. Smoke fills your lungs before breakfast. Your muscles ache from yesterday because rest was a luxury, not a right. Even standing still costs energy you do not have. The mystery is not how medieval people survived. It is why you would fail so quickly. Every habit you rely on would betray you. Your instincts would be wrong. Your expectations would slow you down. The world would punish hesitation instantly. This is not about toughness. It is about adaptation. Medieval life was a system designed to break the unprepared. To understand why you would not survive a single day, you must step inside the rhythm of a world where survival began before sunrise and never paused for comfort. Medieval life was shaped by scarcity, not choice. Most people lived on the edge of hunger every single day. Food was seasonal, repetitive, and never guaranteed. Bread was heavy and coarse. Meat was rare. Vegetables depended on weather and storage. Clean water was a constant concern, and illness spread easily. Homes were dark, smoky, and shared with animals. Privacy did not exist. Sleep was shallow and short, interrupted by cold, noise, and work demands. Time was not measured by clocks, but by daylight, bells, and necessity. If the sun rose, you worked. If it set, you worked differently. There were no days off for fatigue or pain. Injuries that heal easily today could cripple or kill you. Infection was common and invisible. Winter meant burning precious fuel or freezing. Summer meant endless labor and disease. Childhood was brief. Adulthood was exhaustion. Old age was rare. Medieval people did not romanticize this life. They endured it because there was no alternative. Every system around them assumed lifelong conditioning starting from childhood. Dropping a modern person into this environment is like removing a deep-sea creature from pressure. The body and mind simply are not built for it. The body and mind simply are not built for it. The ingenuity of Dark Age survival was hidden in mundane practices that modern minds often overlook. Fire management was crucial. Hearths were not just for cooking, but for warmth, drying clothing, and purifying water. Peat, wood, and dung were carefully rationed to last through long winters. Food preservation relied on salting, smoking, fermenting, or burying in cool earth. Every calorie mattered, and waste was intolerable. Clothing was layered and patched endlessly, made to retain heat even when wet. Communities understood disease intuitively. Wells were placed away from livestock, sick family members were isolated when possible, and herbal remedies were applied with experience-driven precision. Skills such as tracking game, foraging for edible plants, or purifying water were not hobbies. They were survival tools. And yet this knowledge was almost entirely oral. Mistakes were fatal, success invisible. Modern systems obscure how much daily life depended on continuous decision-making and adaptation, making the fact that people survived at all remarkable. The hidden logic was a complex dance between observation, resource management, and communal cooperation, executed under constant pressure from a hostile environment. Modern life hides how fragile we are. Central heating, instant food, medicine and light erase daily threats, but remove them and medieval rules return immediately. During blackouts, disasters or shortages, people struggle within hours. Stress rises. Bodies fail. Medieval survival principles suddenly make sense again. Shared heat, shared labour, simple tools, constant movement, prioritizing calories and shelter over comfort. The past shows us that resilience is not about heroism. It is about systems. Medieval people survived because their lives were structured entirely around survival from birth. We structure ours around convenience. Neither is morally superior, but only one prepares you for collapse. This is why historical knowledge matters. It exposes assumptions we do not know we have. Understanding medieval life is not about admiring suffering. It is about recognizing the skills we have traded away. In a world facing uncertainty, those lessons feel less distant. The medieval day is a warning and a teacher, showing how fast comfort disappears and how quickly survival becomes physical again. The enduring mystery of Dark Age England is not only how people survived, but how tenuous that survival truly was. Every day was a balance between scarcity and sustenance, exposure and warmth, life and death. Modern imagination often romanticizes the era with knights, castles, and legends, but the reality was relentless struggle and constant vigilance. What kept people alive was not heroism or technology, but careful observation, practical ingenuity, and community networks built over generations. Today, recognizing this fragility reminds us of our own dependence on complex systems and how easily comfort can vanish. History teaches that survival is learned, preserved, and adapted, often quietly and invisibly. The Dark Ages were brutal, but they also reveal the resilience of the human spirit and the intelligence embedded in daily practice. By understanding these ancient survival strategies, we gain not only appreciation for the past, but insight into how to endure uncertainty in our own lives. Life is precious, knowledge is power, and the lessons from the shadowed centuries of England continue to whisper, waiting for those who listen carefully.